While many of us find it hard to find true love, some of the most notorious serial killers have managed to find not just love, but marriage, while serving time behind bars. Yes, you heard that right. Serial killers and romance may not seem to fit each other. Yet, for some strange reason, even the most infamous serial killers have managed to find love while staying in prison. On a serious note, how did this happen and why? Is it the charm and charisma that made them attractive? Power of their letters, as they are often very articulate? The fame that follows their infamous deeds? Or a psychological pull of danger that drives people to connect with even the darkest individuals? Welcome back to Prison Stories. Today's video might just surprise you or make you laugh in disbelief, but it's real. Let's talk about the serial killers who found love behind bars. First in our list is Charles Manson, the 80-year-old mastermind behind one of the most notorious murder sprees of the 20th century. Manson formed a cult whose followers carried out several notorious murders in the late 1960s. He named the cult as Family. Their most famous victim was actress Sharon Tate, wife of film director Roman Polanski, who was killed in her Los Angeles home along with 3 guests. The ensuing trial of Manson and his followers in the 70s attracted national attention. In 1971, Manson was sentenced to death, but following the abolition of capital punishment in California in 1972, his sentence was commuted to life in prison. Elaine Burton got in touch with Manson when she was 17 years old. Apparently, she was impressed with some of his environmental writings and began corresponding with him. She worked in a retirement home kitchen and saved $2,000 just to move from her home in Illinois to Corcoran, where she has been visiting Manson in jail since 2007. She would visit him on Saturdays and Sundays for hours at a time. She believed Manson was innocent and even ran a few pro-Manson websites. As for the marriage, her stance was that she would like to work on his case and that marrying him would allow her access to information and documents restricted to family. Manson, on the other hand, was too much deeper into megalomania to be in love. He called those plans a bunch of garbage and trash. "We're just playing that for public consumption," he used to say. To cut the story short, a license was issued, though Manson wasn't allowed conjugal visits. The two were allowed to invite someone to officiate the ceremony, and up to 10 outside guests may attend. However, the marriage never took place, actually, as the license was for 1 year, and they weren't able to arrange the marriage within the year due to an unexpected interruption in logistics. Manson died in 2017 while still incarcerated at Corcoran since 1989. Ted Bundy. The second one in our list is Ted Bundy, one of America's most notorious serial killers. Bundy managed to marry while on trial for his heinous crimes. His case is the most intriguing one, as it wasn't just a love story. It was a tale of twisted psychological manipulation that Bundy was capable of. In 1974, Ted Bundy was working at Washington State Department of Emergency Services in Olympia. Bundy was helping the search for the missing women in Washington that year. He was spending his days finding those women and at night carrying out murders, propagating the very crimes his department tried to solve. Carolyn Boone was a co-worker. She was twice divorced and a mother as well. She was apparently in awe of the man. Bundy and Boone connected again in 1977 when Bundy was imprisoned in Utah. They exchanged letters, and she visited him in jail for 7 days. Boone believed in Bundy's innocence and supported him throughout his trials, even relocating to Florida to be closer to him. In February 1980, during the penalty phase of his trial for the murder of Kimberly Leach, Bundy proposed as she was testifying on his behalf. Bundy, acting as his own attorney, took advantage of a Florida law that recognized a marriage declaration in court, in the presence of a judge, as legally binding. Boone accepted his proposal, and they were declared married on the spot. Their union was unconventional. Interestingly, despite the restrictions of prison, the couple managed to conceive a daughter, Rose, born in October 1982. Their marriage, conceived under extraordinary circumstances, ended with Bundy's execution in January 1989. Richard Ramirez. Next serial killer is Richard Ramirez, infamously known as the Night Stalker. Ramirez was convicted of numerous heinous crimes, including 13 murders in the mid-1980s. In this case as well, despite his notoriety, he developed a romantic relationship while incarcerated. Doreen Leoe, a former magazine editor, began writing letters to Ramirez during his imprisonment. The correspondence carried on for over an 11-year period. In this period, she sent him nearly 75 letters, expressing her belief in his innocence and unwavering support. Their bond deepened, leading to Ramirez proposing to Leoe in 1988. On October 3, 1996, they were married in a ceremony held at California's San Quentin State Prison. Leoe's dedication to Ramirez was profound. She publicly defended him and distanced herself from family members who opposed their relationship. It was only in 2009 when DNA evidence linked Ramirez to the 1984 murder of a 9-year-old girl, Lily's faith in his innocence wavered. The couple reportedly began distancing themselves, potentially leading to a separation by the time Ramirez died in 2013. This relationship also highlights the complex psychological dynamics that can develop between incarcerated individuals and those who form attachments to them, raising questions about the nature of such connections and the factors that drive them. Kenneth Bianchi. Next, we have not one, but two serial killers. Together, they were called the Hillside Stranglers. Kenneth Bianchi and Angelo Buono Jr. together terrorized Los Angeles between October 1977 and February 1978, committing a series of heinous crimes. Their crime list include kidnapping, rape, torture, and murder of 10 women and girls, ranging in age from 12 to 28. The victims' bodies were often found on hillsides surrounding Los Angeles, leading to the media epithet Hillside Stranglers. Crazy as it may seem, but both cousins find their ladies while staying behind the bar. Bianchi and Shirley Joyce got connected through letters. They not only exchanged letters, but often talked on phone as well. They married in an intimate prison ceremony. Bianchi, 38, wore a black tuxedo, and Shirley Joyce Book, 36 at that time, wore a white wedding dress with a small veil during the 15-minute ceremony in the prison chapel. It was their first face-to-face meeting, though. Due to the horrific nature of Buono's crimes, the couple was not allowed any conjugal visits. Bianchi is currently serving a life sentence at the Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla, Washington. Angelo Buono Jr. Our next serial killer is none other than the cousin of Bianchi, Angelo Buono Jr. Bianchi testified against Buono in exchange for a lighter sentence. Ultimately, Buono was convicted on 9 counts of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Interestingly, Buono caught the eye of Christine Kazuka while she was visiting her husband and the father of her 3 children, who spent 5 months in a cell next to Buono at the Los Angeles County Jail. Kazuka, 35, was a supervisor at the Los Angeles office of the State Employment Development Department. As for why, she was a very bright woman. She not only had a college degree, but had teacher's credential as well. A person close to her expressed disbelief in these words. "I just don't know why she made this move. I think he has brainwashed her to the point that he has made her believe he is not guilty." While incarcerated at Calipatria State Prison in California, Buono married Christine Kazuka in 1986. He remained in prison until his death from a heart attack on September 21, 2002, at the age of 67. Whether we call it love, charm, manipulation, brainwash from the side of these killers, but still from the perspective of these women, they did find something irresistible in those serial killers. It may seem perplexing and unsettling, but it's undeniable. It's a chilling reminder of how complex human psychology is, and interesting at the same time to see how people can form connections, often unusual ones, even at the most unexpected places. Thank you for joining us into the strange world of prison romance. If this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button, Share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more intriguing stories from the world of crime.